You don't choose your destiny. You fall into it like a stone into a deep well. You aren't born in a bed among white sheets, but on the cold floor of a city prison basement, where the air is thick with the smell of dampness, rotting straw, and the fear of those waiting for dawn. Your first lullaby isn't a mother's gentle voice, but the muffled screech of iron against iron and the groans of those whose time is running out faster than sand in an hourglass. You weren't baptized in a church. The priest refused to take you in his arms. He was afraid that at your mere touch, the holy water would turn to poison. You were baptized at night, by the back door, with cold, murky water from a bucket used to clean blood off the scaffold. From that moment on, you are a stigma. You are unclean. To the townspeople, you are a monster, the embodiment of their nightmares. They spit in your direction when you pass by and cross themselves as if you were the devil himself in human form. But in the evening, when darkness falls over the city, those same people come to your door, looking over their shoulders. They whisper your name, though you have no name, only a profession, and beg for the help that no doctor can provide. They hate you for what you do by day and swear loyalty to you by night, because they know only in your hands are both the axe and the healing salve. Today, dawn breaks again. The sun slowly rises over the castle towers, illuminating the scaffold in the central square. A crowd is already gathering there. They are waiting for a spectacle. They are waiting for you. You set aside the whetstone. Your axe is especially sharp today. It's the only honesty you can grant the condemned. Today is your workday, and that is all you have left of this life. Your childhood isn't measured in years. It's measured by the number of nooses you learned to tie before you could even walk. While other kids played knights, dreaming up noble deeds, you played justice. Your playground was the prison courtyard, where the remains of former convicts bleached in the sun. Your father was your only school. He didn't teach you how to say prayers or recognize the stars. He taught you to feel the difference between a cervical vertebra and a tendon by touch alone. Every mistake you made wasn't just a reprimand. It was a blow to the hands that left your fingers numb for weeks. An executioner cannot tremble, he would say, while you tried not to scream from the pain in your battered knuckles. Because the moment you start trembling, the crowd will realize you're just like them. But you are the law. You are inevitability. By the age of 11, you knew human anatomy better than the city doctor who spent a lifetime studying in universities. Only he studied how to save a life, while you studied how to end it in an instant. Your first independent execution wasn't a feat. It was an exam you couldn't afford to fail. You stood before the crowd, small, in an oversized apron soaked with the smell of metal and damp earth. Your hands were still too weak to hold the heavy axe, but you already knew. If you didn't hit the mark on the first try, this crowd, currently screaming with delight, would turn into a pack of wolves and tear both you and your father apart. That day, you realized the main thing. Death isn't a tragedy. Death is a workflow. You stopped looking into the eyes of those being judged. You started looking only at their necks, and in that moment, you finally understood. You no longer have a name. You are simply an extension of the blade. You aren't just an executioner. You are an untouchable, someone whose brand isn't seared into the skin, but into the very air around you. When you walk into the city market, the crowd parts like water before a plow. It's not respect. It's the instinct of self-preservation. The merchants are terrified that the coins you use to pay for bread are soaked in blood, so they drop them into a bucket of vinegar to wash away the sin. They don't sell you their best goods. They sell you the leftovers and try to shove you out of their sight as fast as possible. You aren't allowed to enter the church through the main gates. There's a separate corner reserved for you, where the shadows are always deeper. You never know the taste of a friendly chat over a mug of ale. In the taverns, there's a bench for you right by the exit, where they look at you like a sewer pipe that suddenly came to life. But as soon as the sun dips below the horizon, everything changes. At night, the same people who threw stones at you during the day knock on your door. They come to you in secret, wrapped in dark cloaks. Someone has a dislocated shoulder from work. Someone else has a deep wound they're too ashamed to show the city barber. They come because you are the best surgeon in town. You know the structure of muscles. You know how to numb a trauma. You know the herbs that heal the skin. You look at their faces, terrified and humiliated, and nothing stirs inside you. You set their bones with the same fingers that tightened a noose that morning. You heal people who pray during the day for you to vanish. You see their gratitude mixed with loathing and realize you are a necessary paradox. They need you to be dead by day and alive by night. But in neither of these worlds do you have a place you can call your own. The square is your stage, and the axe is your only tool for communication. When the bells begin to toll, announcing the execution, the crowd falls silent. It's a silence that can't be compared to anything else. It's heavy, sticky, and their lust pulses within it. They didn't come here for justice. They came to feel someone else's life slip through their fingers while they chew on pies and drink cheap wine. You lead the condemned man out. His gait is unsteady. He clings to the wooden steps as if they are the only thing keeping him in this world. You don't look him in the eye. You look at the chopping block. There's already a notch there where dozens of heads have lain before him. You check the balance of the axe. It's heavy steel, cold even on the hottest afternoon. You know the weight of every strike. Too light a blow and the man will writhe in agony, drawing the crowd's ire. Too heavy and you risk damaging the blade against the stone. You need the golden mean. You need a mathematician's precision. Close your eyes, you tell him. It's not out of pity. It's a professional requirement. When a person sees the blade, they instinctively tense their neck muscles, making the blow harder. You raise the axe over your head. For a moment, you become the center of the universe. The crowd stops breathing. You feel thousands of pairs of eyes on you, in which there is no sympathy, only expectation. You let the weight of the blade drop. Thud. The sound of the impact isn't just metal hitting wood. It's the final period in someone's existence. Blood splatters onto your apron, your hands, and the wooden planks of the platform. You don't turn away. You lift the head by the hair, displaying it to the crowd. They erupt in cheers, as if at a harvest festival. You stand there in the red glow of the sun, and for the first time today, you feel a strange, hollow lightness. You've just done what the city required of you. You've fulfilled your duty. You are the hand of the law that feels no guilt, because the law has no heart, and you no longer have one of your own. When the city sinks into the night, the crowd vanishes. They head to their homes, hug their children, eat warm bread, and forget what they saw in the square. To them, you are just a shadow dissolved in the twilight. To you, the night is a time when the silence becomes physically heavy. You can't just forget the day. You wash your apron. It's a ritual that never brings relief. You know that next time there will be even more stains. You take the axe and begin to clean it again. The sound of metal against stone in the night silence sounds like a prayer that no one will hear. At night, night guests come to you. A knock at the door. Quiet. Timid. You open it. On the threshold stands the same merchant who this morning threw coins into vinegar because he was disgusted by your hands. Now he trembles with pain. His arm is twisted at an unnatural angle. You look at him without anger. You have no strength left for malice. You simply point to the stool. You set his joint. You feel the tension of the muscles, the crunch of the bones snapping into place. He cries out but thanks you without looking up. You know that tomorrow morning he will turn away again when you pass by his stall. And that is your true punishment. You aren't a killer. You are the one who fixes what they break and destroys what they command. You are the mirror of this city, reflecting all its filth and hypocrisy. You lie down on the straw. You close your eyes, but the chopping block is still there before you. You wonder if there is anything human left in you besides reflexes and a knowledge of anatomy. You find no answer. You just wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow brings a new sentence and new blood that will once again wash away your memories. Your hands no longer hold the axe as steadily as they once did. They tremble with every strike, not from fear, but from the fatigue that has accumulated over decades. You no longer heal people. They come less often because now they fear you even more. You have become part of the walls of this castle, a ghost walking through the city. You are a living witness to how much pain this world can endure. You look at your apprentice. In his eyes, you see the same thing that was in yours, the illusion of power. He doesn't yet know that this axe doesn't grant power. It only grants loneliness. He thinks this craft will make him important. He doesn't yet know that to the city, he is merely a tool that will be replaced as soon as the blade grows dull. One morning, you don't get up. You don't feel the cold of the cellar. You don't hear the screams of the crowd, and you don't smell the iron. Your death is the only free moment in your entire life. They bury you somewhere behind the city wall, near the sewers where the waste is dumped. No cross, no name on a stone. You are a blank space that the city forgets before the gravedigger even has time to walk away from the pit. But the city doesn't stop. The next day, the crowd buzzes again in the central square. They want blood again. They want a spectacle again. In your place stands him, your apprentice. He raises your axe. It is still sharp. He makes the same gesture you made thousands of times. The cycle has closed. You were just a cog in a machine that requires constant lubrication with human blood. Your life changed nothing. You are an executioner. And as long as the city has laws, there will always be someone in the city who takes on the role of the devil so that others can consider themselves saints.